So, hi Kari.
Hi Anja.
Could you tell us about innovation projects? How is it different from any other projects? What is an innovation project?
Well, when we talk about an innovation project, there are actually a couple of main phases in the innovation project. First of all, there is kind of a starting project where you start to work on where to find the innovation, how to create the innovation. And once you've created that innovation, you evaluated that a little bit, then it's the second project, which is to put it in practice. So when we think about, how to design the project, about how we can find an innovation, and that's a tricky one.
Are there any steps in designing the innovation project in this first first phase?
Yeah, well, there can be a couple of main venues to follow. Either there is a customer demand, you need to solve a problem or something like that, or then you just, get the feeling that we need to create something new. There is not a direct customer demand. Like when we talk about the mobile phones in the first place, there was no customer demand because customers couldn't think about it. Why would anyone need to carry a phone with them, because they have it at home and you can't have that long cord to carry the phone with you. So those are the two different elements. When you have the customer demand, in some sense, customer demand can also come from the competition, which puts you in the situation that your product is not so important or valuable to the customer anymore. And then you really need to start to think about where do you get the input so that you can create the innovation. And then there is, so you need to create a information collection project which then starts to ignite the innovations.
Yeah, so some sort of the needs analysis of what would customers want.
That's a need analysis. Sometimes it's a need analysis what would customer want. Sometimes it's a need analysis of what would customers accept. Because we don't always know what we want until we see it.
Yeah, of course. Should other people be engaged in the designing process of the innovation project?
When we think about whatever innovation, it's always better to have multiple interest groups, people with different backgrounds, because they come up with different ideas. So you have you might have a broad idea of an innovation, and if you don't invite different types of people, then you also start to lose the needs of different people. You start to narrow your options when you perhaps should take a side turn somewhere to build it up to a better product. So absolutely, it's important to have different age groups, somebody from outside of your industry who doesn't have the same assumptions, prejudice as you have.
Is there any advice on how we could engage people into this collaborative innovation design?
There are millions of ways. You can have workshops. I think the core, the nut of engaging people is really asking them open questions. Like, how would you solve this? How could you use this? What's preventing you from using this? So not just positive questions in a sense, but also the limiting questions. So pains and gains. You ask for both of those, and then that way you build it up for the people and from the people.
Yes, of course. Are there any tools that could help us in this designing phase, maybe some canvases for innovation project specifically?
Well, it depends a little bit of your organizational situation, okay, and where is the need or the interest for the innovation coming from. Sometimes you could even use business model canvas for that one, or you could have a separate innovation canvas. So there are tools, forms that help you to move forward, and there are processes, and then there is Kanban, project planning, and all that kind of things that you can use. So there is a whole lot of things that you can utilize for developing an innovation and converting that to a more tangible innovation.
If we compare the business project and innovation project, are there like the general track, the general strategy more or less the same, or is it something that should be emphasized if we talk about the innovation project?
The general track is very much the same. For an innovation project, what you need to kind of make sure that you allow is more side turns, because in an innovation it's not a railway line. It is, like a little bee flying around and going around, eventually finding the honeypot. So that's what you need to allow, and that requires sometimes a little bit of resilience and soft skills, so that you can allow these side turns, because you never know behind which corner is the big innovation.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.